You got a
Doom, right?
PlayStation
For
VR.
E3.
Yes.
I want No Man's Sky in.
I hope the troll that's like trolling Cobra will be in the game so we can all like go PvP on him.
We are back. We're back, guys. I'm gonna get this new router set up after the show, so this they won't be able to do this to me anymore. But I apologize for that. We're back. Can anybody check? Did it create a second video? I hope it didn't.
That's what I'm just gonna check for you now. 2 seconds.
People get really upset when that happens.
Is someone like DDoSing you?
Yeah, it's created a video that you uploaded 3 minutes ago, basically, which is 47 minutes long. So it'll put the new one up as a new one. But anyone who's in the stream, I think they'll instantly get connected to the new one when you go live. I think, yeah.
Yeah, somebody's actually attacking the router that I have, the IP address.
So,
I even changed the IP address, but they're somehow getting it because it's a 2-in-1. There's something you can't change that every time you do change it, they get it anyway. So I got a brand new router for the office here, and a lot of Cobras out there to thank for that.
Yeah. Well, it just makes me wonder, because I was talking with these guys, is like, because, you know, DDoSing is when anybody can easily do it. You get a program, and what it does, it's a program that clicks the refresh button on a website like 1,000 times per second to overload the system. But normally it doesn't really work that well by one person. Normally it's like a group of people. So I'm wondering, is there like a couple like No Man's Sky trolls out there that are like literally every day trying to like shut down Cobra TV?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
we got a donation from MZK. Thank you so much, MZK. Hashtag that dude in the chat. Big old fan of MZK, guys. He says some things that I wish I could say on my channel here. I mean, the guy's so funny. So funny, and I got a mouth just like he does, but I've kind of built a reputation for a younger audience, and so I just out of respect,
keep it PC.
Yeah, out of respect to some of those people that watch, I do try and keep my mouth clean. But I swear to God, MZK is absolutely amazing. Absolutely,
yeah. MZK is the boss. He puts some amazing videos out, doesn't he? He is good.
Yeah. I always love when I'm watching his videos, and it's always like, today, like always like this intros.
Another donation from Stuart Ellis. Thank you so much, buddy. So we might have a little bit of problems here and there for the rest of the duration of the show. If it gets too bad, we're just going to end it so I can actually get to work on getting this router set up. I got to call my ISP and give them the new information for it. And then I got to completely get rid of Skype out of my system.
Discovery uploaded.
We got a new subscriber, Ed Kenny 2. Thank you so much, buddy. Welcome to the Cult of the Atlas here. What were we talking about before all that? What were we talking about? We're talking about colonies, right?
Yeah. We were talking about the colony system. Possibly owning our own bases. Yeah.
And we were talking about the tools, community tools.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
as they go along with the multiplayer.
Something else that he said during that interview, the 9-minute interview, that really touched on me was that the fact that he said it's more like Star Trek away team. So I wonder if we could all travel in a freighter together and then warp into new systems and go down like the away team, just like in Star Trek.
I think he did say that. He did say something about when you're like dogfighting with your friends, like someone could be in like a 2-seater ship or something like that. Yeah, he said there was something he said where one of your friends, how he said it sounded like, you know, there was like a 2.
He did say that you could be a wingman, but to be a wingman, you could be a wingman in the craft, or you could be a wingman flying another craft alongside another one. So I think it's kind of open to interpretation.
I thought a wingman was a secondary craft, not in the same seat.
I don't know, because I think they called the guy in the back in Star Wars a wingman, as well as the guy that fires the rocket that takes the walker down.
No, Sanharin Pillay is saying that he's never played Star Trek Away Team. No, he's more like talking about the actual Star Trek show where they actually come across the planet, and then the captain says that he wants to form an away team, and then they go down to the planet. And discover something new for the very first time. And I think that's so cool. Oh my God, the role plays between friends, that's going to be so much fun.
Okay.
What he said,
so
though,
we definitely know that there's going to be a freighter with your friends be able to go inside. That's for sure.
I really think so. But the other thing that he said with that really kind of confused me, because I'm not a big Battlestar fan. But what do you think he meant by it's like Battlestar?
Battlestar Galactica is like loads of sort of flying around and crazy sort of space, but it's like when you see the freighters warp in and you've got the like pirates attacking them and everything. It's like a lot like that, where they sort of run and jump into their ships and they fly off and they shoot like crazy space pirates and stuff. I think so.
So when he mentions it's like Battlestar, it's like he's talking about the space battle side of that.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
They're obviously, we know they're gonna do more with the freighters. So, you know, I wonder how that's gonna work. That's probably what he means by with like Star Trek, like having your own group of team where you guys could all be like in one big ship. And then when you do space battles, that maybe the freighter has like a health to it. So when you're battling other people, each freighter has different health to it. And what you do is, your group of friends, your freighter, you leave out of your freighter with your ship, and if you die, you respawn back in that freighter, and you keep on battling until whoever freighter is destroyed. So it might be something similar to that. I don't know, but they're definitely gonna change a lot of space combat for sure.
Yeah. I wonder if now that you could prey on other people while you're trying to survive. I wonder if you could actually steal their ship.
When they asked him that one time, they're like, oh, like kind of like in GTA, can you take someone's ship? At first he said, I remember watching a trailer, an interview where he's like, no, I don't want people to go around stealing people's ships. So I don't know if they'll add that.
When he was debating it, he said, we thought about that, but I don't want it to become like GTA,
Yeah.
So that was a Game Informer interview.
Yeah. Maybe they changed their mind. I don't know.
I hope so. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, not just stealing people's ships, but us, like having fun taking each other's ships or flying each other's ships for whatever reason. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. That would be cooler instead of have to grind out for a long time and buy a whole new ship, or you could just try out different ships, or you could use your freighter. This is the idea I had and got me so excited was, what if in the next update you could own multiple ships and you store them inside your freighter, kind of like a garage,
Well, you can already do that, right?
No, I think you can only own one ship.
No, you could store all of them.
No, you can have up to 6 ships.
Yeah.
Oh, you can?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What? That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can have quite a few of them in there. I think 6 ships.
Learn something new.
I think
you can have 6.
Yeah.
100%. You can't buy any more once you've got 6.
We're going to get some more people in here. Let's see. Your Godsmack wants to come in. Man, it's amazing to get to talk to him because I don't normally get to talk to him. You are Godsmack. What is going on, buddy?
Get my clips all new.
No, I pulled you from the simulation, bud. You're here now. What's going on?
Hey, mate. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Finally we meet, mate.
Yeah, buddy.
First time caller. Making. I have to. How do I say it? My language. It's a dream coming true, man. I'm following you for a long time now.
Thanks,
for years.
buddy.
And I always have a good heart for the community and for you. And I'm a little bit nervous because I don't like this calling and things. I'd rather be in the chat, but I wanted to say that the community, yeah, man, they are my second family, man. They make my day. They make my day good, man.
Well, I tell you what, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you on. You are Godsmack, and yes, you have been.
Thanks, Ron.
you have been with the channel for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, man.
And,
Yeah, I know. I know. I was this weekend. I was a lot of replying on YouTube, man. There are so much people negative, and oh man, it's a battle to talk to the people and say, come on, man. There are 3 updates now. Give it a try before you scream and talk shit about Sean. You know.
Yeah. What I've been doing lately is I've been ignoring that. People send me videos saying, Cobra, we should do a raid on this channel, you know, comment raid. And if we were to do something like that, we should do like a positivity raid, you know, just go by and show the love for the game, not show the hate for the uploader, you know, not show negativity.
I'm showing the love for the people, and I'm always positive, but I don't want to be that it is a losing battle, you know. I want to give love, and I hope to try to get them on the hype train, choo Adam, you know.
Yeah. Hey, I saw the video that you sent over that we're going to use for the opening of the No Man's Sky Con.
Yeah, what did you think about it, man?
Very good work. Very good work.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. My twin brother, you know him, JC Rules. He is a great dude with a computer, and I am the brains. No.
Well, it's very awesome.
Hey guys, I have a question.
Sure.
On the cover, you know, we saw 4 people, and if I think the PS4, if you got a 16 player, I think it's going to be difficult, man. Because if you got a co-op 4 player and you have a synchronization, you have to have. You know, if I see the animal, you see the animal. I think it's going to be hard for the PS4 standard, man.
I don't know. They're able to do it in other games with 16 players and up. But we are talking about
procedural generation.
Yeah, we are talking about a different type of game. We are talking about a different procedurally generated game versus other ones that have a set map. So yes, you are right, but I don't know. I think that might have something to do with just group, some kind of group party mode, because it just, I don't know, it just wouldn't make any sense to have a group of 4 people and you're playing and you would never run across anybody ever again. As long as you stay with those 4 people, that's it.
Yeah, I think
it seems weird.
Yeah, and the colonies, how big can they get? Is it a 4-player colony because it's all small ones, or yeah. I don't know.
True. Very true.
A lot of questions.
So I wonder if maybe
community tools, they've got to put community tools in for big guilds and because they know the community, they know the hubs exist, they know that people are going to like up. As soon as Cobra opens a hub, I don't care where I am, what galaxy, I'm starting a new game to get to that hub. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's going to happen. So they're bound to have put these kinds of tools in.
So I wonder if maybe if we create a group of 4, if you could run into another group of 4 and see them.
We must be able to.
So you would, so we could be talking about seeing at the most 4 groups of 4 people, because that would be 16.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
It would depend in what kind of situation that would be, because when is it likely that you're going to have 16 people in the same location on one planet, unless it was like a planned event hub? That's what I mean. So other than that, you're I think like when it comes to seeing other people, maybe that would be limited down a little bit, possibly. I don't know, but I think like that's something that no one knows until we actually go all to the same location and all stand on that same spot on that same planet. We're never going to know how many people the game can actually render, and that's really super interesting. I can't wait to find that, put the answer out to that when we actually get the patch. That'd be cool.
Yeah, speaking of cities, I did see when people were pointing out that background on the box art, but they just updated the new art thing, and this time they actually covered those cities or rocks or whatever they were. So I wonder if they're like, oh, maybe they heard people talking about, oh, there might be procedurally generated cities. So like, oh, snap. Well, we want to make sure we don't like put something on there that's not going to be there, because maybe they didn't think people would think they would be procedurally generated cities. I don't know. So maybe that's why they covered it up. because there might not be procedurally generated cities.
So the comment that was released on my channel by somebody calling themselves F said next features will be synchronized multiplayer, which we've got. This was before the announcement. And then he also said city building, which complex colonies building together could fall into that category. You know, it's everybody's interpretation on what a city is. So if there's only 4 people on a planet, and if you build a complex colony, that essentially is the only city there. You know, it's a city for 4 people. So I don't know. And then he said, and most importantly, you will be able to create missions for players. Just a bit of hint from F. So that would be really cool. And one of the things we talk about on this channel is we've talked about how it'd be cool if there was like some kind of campaign maker in No Man's Sky. So we can make our own campaigns with their own assets and have other people play them, and they could be voted on some leaderboard. And, you know, like the highest voted ones would be like the coolest people voted for. And then you could go and click on it and play through those campaigns on that person's planet. And so
I tell you what, if that does happen, Cobra, as well, you and the hub leader from somewhere need to get the thing for that, because in one of your interviews, really ages and ages back, when you were talking to one of the hub leaders, he said that he actually said that they already did a system like that, where there was missions that people wrote down and that other people could complete them for like little marks against their name in the forum or something. And like you guys came up with that. That's awesome.
Maybe you can do missions if you go to the cities, and there you can access the missions. Maybe.
And MZK wants to come on the show. Man, I would love for you to come on the show. If you could just go into the Discord and go into the waiting room, and I would love to have you on, son.
Oh my God, Dad and son in the same room. It's going to be amazing.
Don't know
if the universe can take this much amazingness all in one space.
He called me Dad, so I went ahead and called him son. We got Legacy 0. Legacy, what's going on, buddy?
How's it going, bros?
It's going great. I'm in a lot of pain, but it's going great.
Do y'all hear me okay, by the way?
Yeah.
We can hear you
loud and clear.
I got a new mic cover, and so I don't have the pop anymore. So it sounds glorious. I just wanted to test that out real quick. But first off, I really have to give it to Sean Murray real quick, because the massive stones on that guy to come back into the public eye after all this time, that's huge. That's huge. And I got to congratulate him on that. It's really awesome that he came back out. And he looked great, too, by the way.
He did. Really did. Yeah, he had a nice little fancier type of flannel shirt, you know, a little bit more quieter than normal. We got MZK. We're gonna get MZK in here. Oh boy, MZK, what is going on, dude? He's muted. MZK, you're muted, buddy.
Hello.
He's here.
Hello.
Yeah, he's in the chat. He's definitely in the chat.
His Discord settings might be weird, too. I know I have to go in there and redo that stuff.
Does that work?
Is
that good?
There he is.
Are you there, MZK?
Hey.
MZK. Oh,
yo.
We got MZK.
We got MZK.
Hell yeah, boy.
Oh man, it's a pleasure to have you on the show finally. I remember I was trying to get you on the morning show months ago.
Yeah, no, it's just so awkward timing for me. That's the only problem. But man, I'm cool with it now. I've got the evening to kill.
6 hour difference between us.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? But no, I'm cool now. I'm cool. I can scrape in.
So what are you most excited about that came out of the Lord and Savior Sean Murray's mouth yesterday?
Oh mate, just everything, fucking everything, honestly. But no, man, I mean, it seems like the update that everyone wants, and is as good as people say it is. Multiplayer, fucking hell, it's gonna be good.
Sean gave a good shout out, man, to the community, so that's cool.
Yeah, he did. what do you think complex colonies across multiple planets actually entails? You think that's a hint to like making our hubs a lot bigger and better, more interactive?
It better be.
I think it's probably giving an actual system to hubs, because hubs right now don't really have like an actual system built in. They're just implied. They're there. They exist. But think of it, when I think about hubs and a system that might make that work, right? Think about, for those of us that play shooters, particularly like Call of Duty or Halo or Battlefield, and you keep hearing the word clans being thrown around. Well, right now, for a lot of the older shooters, their clans were being done on like a completely separate website. Whereas now, commonly, in our more modern shooter games, clans are actually built into the games as a system to make it easier. So I kind of related to that, is that you build it as a system so that you can identify where hubs are and what and where they're located, and it isn't just something that's kind of there and exists, and the only way to find it is on Reddit somewhere.
Right.
I think you're definitely going to add those sort of community tools. I think it goes without saying. Sean's a super, super clever guy. This is the thing. He's like, the game that we've already got is like, as it stands right now, everyone would have been happy with it as it is if it had launched exactly like that. There wouldn't have been any of the big problem with everyone kicking off and everything. But whatever they're doing, and he said he took a year because he wanted the game to be right. And, you know, and he also said that it's that statement where he was like, I wish we could have done this sooner. And I'm super excited about this now. And I think this is like, he's got to be there.
MZK, I would like to introduce you to our very own Sean Murray here that we have on the show.
Except MZK.
But
he's nailing it so far.
I would like to point out, you know, how he said build bases together, and then also in addition said build complex colonies. So complex colonies is definitely bigger than building bases together. So a lot of people are saying cities, you know, and I don't know what that could entail, but building something that is titled complex colonies that would be used by multiple people has got to be a heck of a lot bigger than base.
Maybe you can put your base maybe you can put your base wherever you want, and I can put it next to yours. That's the way to building also
well,
big city, of course.
Yeah.
Here's the big question. Are they going to keep, you know, the kind of building structures we have right now and just add to that? Or are they going to entirely like change it, like overhaul?
Well, the way I see it,
building
they would have to overhaul it. They would have to change it. The assets are way too heavy at the moment. You know, I mean, look at the way Space Engineers does it. It's so light, but it's still amazing. And you could build it anywhere because it automatically terraforms the land if you build it where it couldn't be built. You know, it makes the land flat, or it makes the part of the block underneath of the land a little bit so that it's still straight all the way around. So Space Engineers does their building very well. And I really hope that Hello Games has really taken a look at games like Space Engineers and said, okay, let's redo the building and give them a bigger limit and more options.
It would also have to accommodate whatever new systems they're putting in too. And I'm not sure the current base building structure really accommodates for that. I don't know. Current bases that I have built or had built, I'm not exactly sure it actually has a bunch of room for 4 dudes to be running around.
Right.
I think it's going to be multiple bases that make the colony. That's kind of my mindset on the complex colonies. There's lots of people in said either sort of, you know, guild, clan, group. I'm hoping it's like more sort of a guild sort of system with the, you know, where you can have, you know, hundreds of people be part of that. And then, you know, people that are in an entirely different part of the galaxy can still be part of the tribe. You know what I mean? They can still play stars in the name of that, and their buildings would still be part of that colony, if you know what I mean. Because,
oh my goodness, if they make this like Spore, that'd be so amazing. If it's like Spore, you know, where you have like, you own multiple systems, and you could do that with your friends, that'd be so amazing. Just like conquer the galaxy.
Proper Gek Empire.
We're going to continue We're going to continue to keep rapturing people from the waiting room. But I remember a long time ago, I sat down with my wife before the game came out, and I said, "Could you understand the same universe for everybody? It's not a random map for every other person. This is the same map for everybody. I can see in the future one day that there's going to be empires, places that they're going to build." And I even told her, I said, even if you can't see each other, knowing you're in the same place, sharing the same location, seeing the same rock formations is just as good as, being able to, be in there. I said, for some way or another, there's going to be massive empires in this game controlling certain areas of space. And we're heading in that direction.
Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be like Ark Survival Evolved. It's going to go in that sort of direction, I think, where it's like a massive multiplayer online. You've got all of those kind of tools and everything. And yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we started seeing like base defending turrets and all of that kind of thing. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. We got Sika Loop 16. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fine. I'm just listening and talking with you.
Well, it's good to have you in here, man. I saw you sitting in the waiting room and I ripped you out of it and slammed you up against the subcast wall here. So what's going on, bud? What brings you on today?
Yeah, I think it's a very good idea, really, that Hello Games are putting like passive mode. In GTA 5, you have passive mode. Don't you think?
Oh, yes. I think so. But I don't know how they're going to do it. I mean, creating one more mode for persistent universe, I think would set it off just fine. That way, everybody playing normal mode, it's just the same as it's always been with the new assets and new updates and things like that. But the PvP would fall under the just
multiplayer mode,
persistent multiplayer universe.
Something to consider too is that right now the game is structured around 16 players in one finger quotes lobby at a time. So essentially, and I know I've been gushing on Twitter about the idea of hopefully them beta testing it, but I think essentially we kind of did that for them in a way, especially on what was it, that event where we all got together on that one planet, the Unification Day. If they weren't paying attention then to server load structure and things like that, which I assume they were, we've kind of been testing it for them a little bit already, especially on that day. I wonder if they build that into the lore deliberately to say, hey, can you test our servers for us here as part of the lore? We're not going to just say, hey, beta test this for us. It's just like building it into the story, because they had to have known that we were going to catch on to that stuff and be like, let's do Unification Day. That's a great idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anybody that's sitting in a waiting room that has their mic on mute, I'm not going to pull you out because I don't know if you just want to sit in there and listen to people, or if you really want to come on the show. So if you're on mute, huh?
No, sorry, there's no one on mute now. I see the waiting room here. So
there's a couple people on mute in the waiting room.
Oh, not on my phone.
Level 100 comes over to you. They won't see you unless you actually sync together, and the phasing technology kicks in, so they'll be able to see everything that you do, interact with everything that you do. It is very easy to do. It's just phasing.
What's going on, Zeke? You have been raptured, and we're sitting here listening to you in the middle of your conversation. What's going on?
Well, hey, what's going on, Cobra?
I tell you, I love doing that. I love it.
Yeah, I'm on my lunch break, so we've only got a little bit of time, but figured I'd stop by and say hey.
Awesome, very awesome, man. What are you excited most about what came out of Sean Murray's mouth yesterday?
I am definitely excited about this multiplayer thing. Everything being confirmed, the whole building together and all of that. The only one quote that I didn't like was, "If you want to be that guy." That's really throwing a wrench into my whole thought process. I don't really like PvP. I've not been a fan of it, but
a lot of people.
I'm very, very willing to defend everything that we have in this community and all of that. If people come over and start just bomb rushing us or whatever may happen, dude, I'm gonna be there. I don't care who's with me, but I'm gonna put up a wall, and no, this is not happening.
I think there's a lot of assumption going around about PvP and how it might work. One thing you got to consider too is that right now we have 4 modes to go with. So unless you're in something like survival or permadeath, I would really, really worry about that. But in something like normal mode, what does being that guy actually mean? Like, what does that look like in a game like No Man's Sky? Because I can just see a bunch of hijinks like trolling people, and it may not even directly mean that you're running the risk of getting killed by somebody else. And right now, especially if you play things like battle royale games or survival games like H1Z1 or DayZ, there's almost no cooperation in games like that. It's all just griefing, and it's all just kill on sight.
Well, there is a lot of cooperation in DayZ of people that are going around ganking people. You know, they're working together to gank people. But I could maybe, if you kill somebody, you get the grave, and you have to hurry up and extract that grave before the other person comes back to get his grave.
Yeah.
And PvP actually works like that in games like Minecraft. If you've ever played like survival servers or PvP servers like that, it kind of works like that.
The issue with that is when you kill someone in Minecraft, they drop everything that they have equipped. So if in No Man's Sky we have this PvP come along and someone drops you out of the sky, does that mean is now theirs?
That would make sense, because Sean Murray said, you would, if you need to survive, you prey on people. So
yeah, exactly.
So I would imagine, whatever loot that you had, maybe it might be a portion of it, because I could see people would be really upset if they mined so much stuff and then everything that they had was completely lost because some guy came out of nowhere and got their stuff. But that also makes me wonder, like, if it's going to be similar to like kind of like Journey, like how will you know if someone is in, like, you could be in a system. I know you could probably see, oh, that person discovered that system, so there must be someone in there recently. So I know that's how you could probably find someone, but I wonder if there will be like a notification where it says another player in your system and will give you the exact coordinates, or if it'll just be like you randomly see them without your ship telling you that there's someone there.
I think one thing we can't forget, too, is that I think Sean really, really covets the idea of having an exploration game that you can just simply exist in and explore. So I don't think he's and it's just like his tweet yesterday, that I think he's going to try to make everybody happy, because there is an odd amount of people, especially like in my YouTube comments and things like that. It's like, I will stop playing this game if there's multiplayer, which is a little baffling to me. But also, I respect that, because there's a lot of times that I just want to sit down and play by myself and just enjoy the atmosphere of it all. So I think he's going to cater to that. It would be odd for him not to, because the original base of the game was you being by yourself, stranded in space, doing whatever. So I don't think he's going to get away from that. So it's either going to be a separate mode altogether.
I think so.
Or it's going to just be tied
I don't know about a separate mode, but there was something I was talking to some of the other guys about was, having a flag system so you can turn it on and off. Or one of the things I said was, certain systems could potentially be PvP only, like conflict level 3s would be straight up PvP no matter what. Conflict level 2, maybe you have the option to flag. Conflict level 1, there's no PvP there.
Right.
Or like certain zones in the galaxy are considered PvP only, right? And if you want to avoid those areas, that sounds realistic to me too. Like H1Z1, I think, has particular places like that are safe zones that you can go and not worrying about getting killed on sight every 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe even I don't know. This is going to cause a lot of problems, but I think Hello Games they got it under control. I really think they know that a lot of things that people do, they want to be alone. I think they got it under control. Lorigan has donated, saying, just got home from a night out. It's 3 a.m. Sunday here. Cobra TV will be my bedtime lullaby. So hyped for next.
Does Lorigan get paid every day? What a contributor, definitely.
Yes. Thank you so much, Lorigan.
Hey, Ron.
Yes.
Hey, Ron, question. Do you think the colonies, do you think there will be one leader who starts a colony, or?
That's a good question. And I think, maybe there will be. I think that, again, I really think that there's galactic hub features in this update. I really do.
Okay, I have one thing I need to say. It's the Waking Titan in the room. How do you guys think Waking Titan, the ARG, is gonna like last us for until 9 weeks? Because we have about like 65 days before the update comes out. So how will the ARG last us that long?
I think in other words, for everyone to still stay excited about Waking Titan, I think it needs to start giving us breadcrumbs as it goes.
Yep.
That's the only way it's going to survive, because I think a lot of people are getting a little bit pushed off by it. So they, each glyph that we unlock, if it has like some hint or clue to what's in another feature that Sean Murray didn't mention, or maybe just a screenshot or something, I think people would be very excited in watching and playing out the rest of Waking Titan.
It's been kind of doing that a little bit. Like, what was the asteroid field thing that they talked about? That seems like a breadcrumb. And you're right. Waking Titan fatigue has set in quite a bit, and that's why I kind of had my prayer hands together for this weekend. It really setting off, and just yesterday or the other day, it like lit up with the final 5 glyphs. So I think Waking Titan's going to kind of kick off in a big way in the coming days and weeks. And you're right. It better start dropping something substantial, because otherwise it's just a bunch of dudes sitting at their computers trying to solve puzzles that may or may not contain bits of lore. But I really think Waking Titan after this update is going to die off, because I think it would have served its purpose at that point. I think, not to mention, it's hard to imagine how much it costs out of Sean Murray's pockets to fund Allison Smith and this whole thing. But it's been a good advertisement for Allison Smith. I know that.
It sure has.
It's been great stuff.
This will be the perfect end to the Awakened Titan ARG, though, wouldn't it? Because the whole point of it was to explain kind of how we could see each other as orbs. In the last kind of Waking Titan, like that's kind of the explanation for multiplayer even existing with the glitching. So now they have to bring that to an end, because otherwise the lore doesn't make any sense at all if you can suddenly see each other as character models.
I wonder if we're getting
more story mode.
More story mode.
I think that's what this is. I genuinely believe that this is a completely separate co-op story, because just the way Sean was talking about it, he's like, it's emergent, it's funny, it can be this, it can be that. It sounds to me like none of us that have played the game will have experienced any of what's going to be in this new co-op experience, because that's how it's phrased even on the website, that it's a new experience for even existing players.
I think the reason why he said it could be funny, because I mean, we were already a couple yesterday, I think, thinking of things that we could do in multiplayer, like having rave parties, and doing all kinds of weird goofy stuff together, and so I think by them playtesting it, they have found some pretty funny ways to play multiplayer together.
Oh hell yeah. And they're inventive fellas, aren't they? They are very inventive fellas.
I think the ARG is explaining a lot how multiplayer, we're talking about the rare headset. People are, I think, what you're saying, rare headset sucking us in, trapping us, the players in the game, and that's why we'll be able to see each other because of the rare headset. And now, the PvP and all that stuff could be all tie into, the fact that who's ever controlling the simulation is like evil. So the universe is going to become a little bit more evil.
I want to point out that L Plays Gaming was right. I just want everybody to know that, because he called that stuff before anybody else did, and he took a big risk on that too. I remember he was chatting to us. He's like, "Man, I don't know if I want to do this or not. You know what? Screw it. I'm going for it." And he did it, and he landed it like Tony Hawk did, like a 1080.
Exactly. And not only did we acknowledge that he was right, Allison Smith actually acknowledged he was right with inside the ARG. How cool is that?
Yeah, but it's not just whoever's controlling the simulation that's evil, but the exosuit has its own like agenda as well, and it's not the best of people.
Right.
I think he took a big risk with that, because typically us YouTubers, when we go into speculation modes, we get crapped on from pretty high. And the fact that he did that, he risked it, and he nailed it. Big ups to L Plays on that one.
Oh yeah, and I think Allison Smith kind of seen that he was catching heat, and I think that's why they actually said something in the ARG.
My man LP, cool. Way to go, man.
Was L Plays right?
Hey guys, now that we have seen the video clip of Sean, do you think we will hear also something on the E3, or what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, I was talking to somebody. Apart, with E3. Sean Murray came to the States just to do a 9-minute interview with Xbox. So asking them to come to the States to do have a stage on Xbox on their stage, to have a spot on their stage for longer than 9 minutes seems conceivable, does it not?
Yeah.
I have a lot of people on my Twitter and on Reset Era that the common consensus is there is no way he would bother trying to do that. There's no way. And I think that's completely untrue because he needs retribution. He needs to come back. And this is, and we don't know what we're about to see. We don't know what we're going to get. And 505 Games and Microsoft had decided to buy in on No Man's Sky and Hello Games.
Right.
Even after the stigma that they have, he's got something to show. And if he walks out on stage and drops that mic with something substantial, you folks on Twitter and Reset are going to be shamed of your words and deeds. Exactly. It sounds hyperbolic, but he has every opportunity to do it, and if he does it and he lands it just right, it'll be epic for sure.
Exactly. I agree.
Nobody expected Sean a couple of days ago, so who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Simon, thank you so much for the donation. He says, I love your channel. Keep doing what you do. Will do, buddy. Hashtag Simon. I think that says Simon. Suzimon? I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, buddy. I think I'm going to put my bet in. I think Hello Games, Sean Murray, is going to be at E3. Okay, so Sean Murray shows up for a 9-minute interview in the States at Xbox and to do a 9-minute interview, and you don't think Xbox asked him, say, hey, we'd like to have you on the stage. Come on. I'm sure
he did shake his hand. You'd be back on. He did do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I imagine, I mean, why not throw him on there? I mean, I think this, after he showed them what's in this update, the multiplayer and everything, Xbox is not shy whatsoever to promote this game.
He has got a little confidence now because you can see he's also twittering much more. So,
oh yeah,
100%. There's going to be a trailer there. I know that for sure. On the Xbox
there has to
stage.
be between now and then. Yeah. Between now and when it goes, then there's got to be a trailer. All of this information is all well and good for everyone in the community that's already part of the community and that knows what's going on with the game and is already hyped and excited. But what about the millions of people in China? And that's not even an exaggeration. It's literally millions of people across China and the Xbox community, which is also millions of people. They can not show anything about that. There's no way they can do that, surely. They've got to get all of these people hyped. They've got to go out and buy the game to be part of the community, but more importantly, to give Hello Games the money to make it even better than it will be now.
Exactly. And before the Xbox live stream, I would have thought that it had been far-fetched to say that they would be at E3. But after that, after Sean Murray traveled to the States, period, I don't think it's far-fetched to think so. We got a donation from L Plays. Thank you for everything. Always had 100% respect for you, but after I tried a very simple stream the other night, I realized just how incredible the work you do is. It's not easy at all, and you make every second a blast. Man, L Plays is such a freaking amazing Cobra. Thank you, buddy. Everyone, go check out L Plays. I also got MZK. I didn't think MZK was going to be so quiet, but he's been really quiet on the stream.
Yeah, I'm a listener. That's the thing.
You're not alone there, MZK.
MZK always gets me so excited when I watch his videos.
Ron.
Yeah.
Ron. Hey mate, I'm gonna make place for somebody else, man.
Okay, buddy.
I'm gonna go. I just wanted to thank you, man, and all the bros from the community, man. You make my day, man. I love you guys.
All right, love you too, bro. You stay safe, man.
You too, man. Bye, guys.
Hey, that stubborn ninja's really been chomping at the bit to get in. He really wants.
Oh, Stubborn Ninja. Okay, well we'll get Stubborn Ninja in here, but we got Legacy Zero, another YouTuber in the chat here, plus MZK, Stubborn Ninja. I can't find where's Stubborn Ninja at. What is his voice in the? I mean, what is his name inside the waiting room? I don't see him inside the waiting room. So Stubborn Ninja, if you want to get on the call, you got to get into the waiting room on Discord, and then I'll drag you in there. We also just got
waiting
Aaron.
room. He says he's in the waiting room. I just don't know who he is.
Ah, he's in the waiting room. We got Aaron who just joined. We got Aaron and Hidden Dragon. You there, Aaron?
Hello.
What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Oh, thanks, man. I'm all right. How are you guys doing?
Who do I have pleasure speaking to? Is this Hidden Dragon?
Yeah, man. It's Hidden Dragon.
Oh, very awesome. You're not Stubborn Ninja.
No, I'm not.
Okay. The pleasure to have you on the show, dude. What brings you on today?
I'm just checking out your stream. It's my very first time actually calling in. I've been listening for you also on your videos since like a week after the very first trailer release, I think.
Ooh, that's been a long time.
Yeah, you were one of the first. I saw this the trailer and went on to look on YouTube for No Man's Sky, and you were the first to check out.
So
I've been following you since then.
Did you happen to see me sitting there in a mask, cursing and farting and burping and yeah? Oh my gosh. Yeah. How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing.
Oh yeah. That was funny.
Hey guys.
I can't. Yeah. Snow's back. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I told you guys. I said, hey guys, I'm back. How'd you not hear me?
I don't know. Maybe your voice was too awesome for our ears to hear.
Okay. When you guys are at an opportunity, I would like to switch gears here.
All right, go ahead. But how many gears are we switching? Because we're pretty excited about this.
All the kind.
It's still No Man's Sky related, so it's not that many gears. But I'm thinking, a certain somebody, I will not say his name, but I will tell you that his name starts with a D, and his last name starts with a T. He told me that that I should make something for the No Man's Sky Con as a prize, and that something is a gravestone, the Atlas-shaped gravestone. And you want to know how I'm going to make that?
How?
Crochet.
Crochet.
Yes, I can crochet, and to give you guys a little perspective.
I think what's more interesting is how you learned how to crochet and why.
You have my interest now.
Yes, we want to know, why does Snow Obsidian, who wears a Pikachu hat, crochet?
I'm a man of many talents.
All you had to do was respond with "because I can." That's all you need to say. I'm on board.
I like it. So, Cobra, I'm sending you a DM on Facebook about one particular crochet project that I've made. And this is what it is. It is a life-size project. 100% crochet, excluding a few other materials. And I made it all by myself with no pattern.
For 3 easy payments of $400.
Could you show this to everyone on the YouTube? Or somehow, some way?
I don't know. I don't want to open up a browser and kick myself offline. I'm a little scared.
I understand. But can you actually
hold on. I do have a window. Wait a second. Let me try. I'm going to try.
He's running on 256K of RAM here. He needs to live.
For the love of God, don't hit the wrong button.
Oh yeah.
No, don't do it.
Okay, you already sent it to me on DM or
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yep.
All right, we'll see what happens. We're gonna see what happens.
I'm glad there hasn't been any weird lag or anything. So I mean,
there was. We had one instance. We had one. Can everybody see that? I'm not sure.
I'm on Discord, so I can't tell.
So it's a Keyblade.
It's a Keyblade. Yes.
Yeah, that looks nice,
Finally,
dude.
someone who knows this stuff.
That looks nice. You know, I upset a gamer once. When I went on Omegle, I was asking people if they've ever heard of No Man's Sky because I was trying to prove that it was not as hyped as people said it was. So I came across a guy holding a Keyblade, and he was I said, "Hey, bud, are you a gamer?" And he leans into the camera and he looks into the camera and squints one eye and he goes, "Of course I'm a gamer. I'm holding a keyblade."
Oh,
I said,
God.
"Sorry, buddy." I said, "I'm
My
sorry."
tummy. It hurts. The cringe.
Dang.
That's actually still on the channel. It's still there. It's a video that's still way down there. But yeah, that looks awesome, man. I can't wait to see what you could do with the. You're gonna make an Atlas grave?
Probably, if I have enough time. I'm probably gonna make it as a plush or something. But then again,
Cobra's gonna have that as funeral.
Wait, a gravestone? Wait, a gravestone plushie? I'd be all down for that. Take my money.
$4.99.99, and it can do that at the same time.
I'm sorry, how much?
$4.99.99.
All right, so we're gonna rapture somebody else here. We're gonna rapture. Boom, buddy, you've been raptured. How you doing, man? Solad Grand Writer? Solad, what's your name, man?
Solo.
What's up, Solo? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing great, man. I think you make these names up just so you can make fun of Cobra trying to pronounce them.
No, not exactly.
You can make a montage of that.
Don't. What brings you on the show today, bud? It's a pleasure to have you on.
A pleasure to be on. Yeah, I'm just subscribed and I just been keeping tabs on you so I can listen to anything new about No Man's Sky.
Very awesome, very awesome. Yeah, we've had quite a party going on here since 2014, man. The train over here, the one we've been on, never crashed. Everybody else's train did, but the Cobra TV Train Express, we've been choo-chooing along pretty well.
And Cobra, I gotta commend you, dude, because I am an absolute man baby when it comes to jaw pain. Like I'm that guy with the man flu, kinda.
Yeah.
Except with tooth pain, I could take anything else, but tooth pain shut me down. So
it hurts, man. The jawbone hurts. My face is bruised up. My lip is bruised because of them trying to get it out. My neck is sore. My ear, there's an infection in my ear because of it. I mean, it's just, I am in total pain, but I'm on these pills. They got me all dizzy. So,
and yeah, here you are.
Too, but I'm kind of on it permanently.
I swear, man. I swear. I think what your wife said about your addiction to No Man's Sky on YouTube, I think she's right.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wash the dishes.
Oh yeah.
I had Vicodin for my wisdom teeth.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Oh, I said I had Vicodin for my wisdom teeth removal, and I took took one, but didn't really feel anything, so I was just mostly taking ibuprofen.
Oh yeah.
So you got your wisdom teeth pulled, Cobra?
I had one. It was impacted, and it was it's like a tree trying to grow through concrete.
All right, so go to your nearest grocery store, get some cloves. Dead serious, get some cloves, get some cheesecloth, wrap it up real tight, and put it down in your tooth where it was so you won't get any dry sockets, and it will help you amazingly.
Oh, dude, you think you hurt right now? Get a dry socket.
Oh, shush. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. Don't.
Black Note Studios. Don't know if you saw it, but Black Note Studios, he said get tea bags. Tea bags will help.
Isn't that something that you do in Call of Duty? Isn't that something that you do in Call of Duty?
Yeah, now it's going to be in No Man's Sky too.
Oh God, don't be that guy.
No, I don't want to see someone's crotch all the time.
So that brings up another question, guys. Do you think there's going to be a third person to our character now?
Yes. There kind of sort of is. Found it yesterday or the other day. I swear to you.
Explain.
I was playing with Shannick and one of the other guys, and we met up and we were just playing around. We made the monument and everything, and I was randomly going into photo mode, and he was off to the side. I've still got the picture of it on my PlayStation, but he was off to the side, and I zoomed the camera out from where I was, there was just little blue, like I guess you could say like a spell effect from World of Warcraft or whatever, the little particle effects where I was. And I stood still, and then I tried to run and, kept going into photo mode, kept trying to find it. And occasionally exactly where I was standing. So I think third person is going to be there, especially in photo mode. But it was crazy, man. I saw these little just blue particle effects.
Oh, how amazing is that going to be now with photo mode? Now that we could actually take pictures with us in it.
Take selfies, man.
Selfies.
Yeah.
With PvP, it would make sense, and also with group shots.
Right.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it. That's going to happen. I'm calling it. That's going to be in the trailer.
Emotes wave into the camera.
That's going to be in the trailer. I guarantee it. There's going to be selfie taking. I'm calling it now. Save this moment. Bookmark this moment in the video. I bet you they're going to do it.
I want to see a trailer so bad. Man, come on.
Has anyone used photo mode when you're around other people or other orbs?
I have.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got we
haven't run into another person.
It's crazy how the orbs still move when you're in photo mode.
I know. Yeah.
So whatever how big the update's gonna be, it must be so big that they don't think, because I always thought that the update was gonna come out at least like a week or two before the Xbox launch to at least show new people like, oh my gosh, look how amazing this game is. But maybe they think, oh, it's so amazing that the trailer will just be enough for everybody to have it all at the same day.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder.
But
I think they want to have everybody on even ground.
Before I go, Cobra, I had a question for you about your book.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
So I started looking into it a little bit, and this is probably way far stretch, but tinfoil hat thing. But in the book, there's this phrase, and the author is Diane something from My Vampire Valentine or something like that. Well, apparently she's also a children's book author, and one of the books she does is A Boy and His Dog, or A Space Boy and His Dog. And that got me really thinking, like, maybe it's a hint that we could have pets, or not just feed some of the animals, but actually keep them and have like a full-on farm. You think?
I'm not sure.
Maybe that could be a thing.
I'm not sure
that is something we asked for.
I'm not sure which book you're talking about, but my author is a male.
I know that. But it was in a couple of the pages, like before chapter 1.
So he quoted a female author
in there. Yes.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Something or other. Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
And like I said, she's a author of these other books. And it's a huge series about a space boy and his dog.
Interesting.
That'd be kind of cool, man. We could make our pets fight each other. Bet.
No. No Pokemon in space. No Pokemon in space. Please, God.
I'm gonna have.
Let's go rooster
I'm gonna
fight.
have
have a bunch of alien roosters just going at it.
My Diplo can beat your Diplo. I raise you 100,000 units.
Or even better, you could have it at Jurassic Sky Park.
Diplo, use headbutt.
Yeah, you gotta just
go with.
Says you must not read from the book, The Mummy. Oh, yeah, I like that. Must not read it. So okay, I'm gonna take that advice. I'm not gonna read the book. At least someone said that I should read it live. No way, absolutely not. My wife,
that, boys, you absolutely should.
My wife sat down with the book and she started to read it, and she's like, "I've just read the word conscious like 50 times within the first 3 pages." She goes, "I'm done." She put it down.
Well, thanks for having me on, Cobra. I always appreciate it. And
oh man, it's been a pleasure.
Look forward to talking to you guys again.
All right, buddy.
Peace, man.
You take care, bud.
Have a good one.
You too, man. We've got Aaron. Aaron, what's going on, buddy? You've been raptured.
I've been yanked.
What?
That's what I said.
You're like a pile of clothes now, and everybody else around you is wondering where you went.
Yeah, it scared the crap out of me too.
Awesome.
Here in a minute, guys, we're going to jump into the chaotic waiting room and end out the show with the entire crowd. So if you're not in the waiting room and you want to be a part of the show,
It's
get
actually
in there.
it's actually not very chaotic right now. It's very
Yeah, it wasn't too bad the last time we did that. It was actually
we're just talking about we were just talking about PvP and about how, like, if they do implement it, it would be really nice if they took off the green markers so that if there is another person in the system or on your planet, that you actually don't know that they're there, and they can't hunt you because, you know, they don't know you're there.
Right.
And just that feeling of being surprised of, like we originally were talking about way when, is, you know, when you see another player, do you shoot or do you make friend? So I really hope if they do really get into this PvP that they get rid of those green markers, and it's truly like, you know, exploring and actually coming across another player is going to be one of those experiences. It's like, wow, that's.
I really think you should come up as a scan. I want a scan though. I think I'm with that. But when we were talking earlier about like survival games and stuff like DayZ, and the inherent reward for killing somebody, at least on an instant gratification level, is way more rewarding than partnering up with them.
Right.
Because it drives the survival aspect of, I must steal their cans of Coke and their beans. And people hardly ever think about the fact that maybe let's go find Coke and beans together. Right. So I think there has to be a dynamic there that rewards you either way. And then maybe if you befriend somebody, well, that's a good thing. But if you kill somebody, well, you should have sentinels come after you or something like that. Like there has to be a balance to it. And if they're going to have an aspect of that, they should really consider it.
Sounds like a crazy version of the Division.
Yeah.
Mike, you guys probably already discussed this, but what is your guys' take on the thing that warped into the background?
I don't know. You know what's more confusing is that it's old footage.
Right. It's from the E3 and the same thing.
Or is it old footage or old build with something new added to it?
That's
I mean,
too.
It's very confusing why they use that. And we were talking about that earlier. It's like Xbox, they had to get that set up for them, right? They had to put it on the screen. They had to get it all. So somebody didn't say, is this next? And Sean Murray would say, no, this is old footage. It's not in the game. So Xbox, they would say, well, wait a minute. We're not going to broadcast that. What are you talking about, man? That's just the wrong thing to do. We're not going to broadcast something that's not in the game. So, you know, I mean, it has, it's very confusing that they're showing old E3 footage.
Yeah.
I think if we're wearing tinfoil hats, I think that's a deliberate thing from Sean. Because old build test is a thing. That wasn't
right.
Yeah, they still have it.
Yeah,
that was put in. That was put in deliberately. Wasn't that before Atlas Rises or shortly before Atlas Rises came out?
Yeah.
And I don't know why Sean would go out of his way. Now, I mean, we have to heed Ray Rod's words here because he said that those assets, that planet still exists in the files.
Right.
And it could be called at will. My question is, why would Sean Murray go to the deliberate links that he did to feature that particular planet to all of its capacity? And it's literally the same. And somebody on Twitter or on Reddit went out of their, I think it was Peaceful Gamer, as a matter of fact, went out of their way to show that it's literally the same planet. The ship is parked in literally the same spot, with literally the same coloring, everything. The Sentinels walking around in the background. I believe that was a Sentinel, by the way. It was just, I think it was haphazardly animated. It's kind of like because it was on a loop, if I remember correctly.
Like got caught on a rock and kept on walking the same.
Or it was just like "Roopa-doopa-doo, I can't walk." And
of course, it was on a loop, but I'm not on board with it being the same walker that we've always seen. It just moved a little bit differently, but at the same time, I do agree it's the same planet, 100%. A lot of everything is exactly the same, but the warp-in effect of that thing, it's not a glitch. It's not a glitch that we've ever seen in our game.
Yeah, it warped in, and then I also saw it warp out.
Yeah, and then it actually you know,
Don't
warp.
those sentinels do that anyways? They just appear out of nowhere and start shooting.
They don't visually transition like that, though, which has been a common complaint of where the hell did you just come from, Sentinel person? And that was one of my complaints, too, is I would love to be able to see the Sentinels sort of phase in when I'm being naughty on a planet. Because otherwise they just kind of come out of nowhere like, hey there, I'm going to shoot you now. And the big question is, Sean could have easily picked a planet of his own choosing, because he's very conscious of that stuff.
Yeah.
He was conscious when he even landed on the planet originally. Oh, not a bad looking planet. I've seen better. And
what's even stranger is the painting for the Xbox cover looks like it's the same planet. Like the artist took its inspiration from what Sean Murray showed behind him.
Yeah.
It could just be a veiled way for him to say, hey, the build that we've been with, and I think there's even bigger context to it too, because remember, there was always one central build to this game. There was always one central build, and they've been sort of piecemealing it, adding on some of the final content. Maybe we never saw that build because that build is still being made, and that's the build that effectively, to quote Sean, the game we've always wanted has always lived on that server. And what we've been getting is sort of these rolled back or these sort of added to features and builds. What we're really meaning to get is that build of the game. I mean, why would he go to the links that he did to show that one planet, which is clearly the E3 planet?
And not just that, on the Xbox store page, you're totally correct, because there's some images. There's one image of like some newer stuff, and then some of the other screenshots are from the old E3 build, and also they copy and pasted the old stuff from the old E3 build, which was planets orbit the stars. So why would they put that there? I think that we might actually be getting orbits again, and a lot of the stuff, because I think now that the engine can like run really good with multiplayer and be able to have that seamless, because I don't think it's gonna, I personally think, I could be wrong, but I'm betting that it's gonna be a seamless kind of thing where, since you can run into another player, there is no lobby thing, it's just seamless. And that's why now they have a better engine that could make big cities, like big, colonies, and then being able to have a lot of the stuff that were turned off, like better, you could see the planet already generated before you land there, better clouds, better, atmospheric effects, and lots of stuff. The list goes on and on.
What I didn't realize is when we were talking in the waiting room, one of the guys actually said that shared base building is already in the game. It's just turned off. If you go to somebody else's base and you look at the stuff on the side that's like nobody ever reads, one of the things is shared base building turned off.
Boy.
It's actually been in the game for the past 6 months. It's just turned off.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's kind of it.
Very interesting.
One of the things I wanted to ask about the game currently is, are the servers, how should I say this, functional yet?
Servers.
The in-game servers that seems to have been glitching.
Oh, I think somebody messaged me saying that was fixed.
Cool. Excellent. Because cool news about my Guardian planet, but that can be another time if you want.
We'll be streaming tomorrow as well. But speaking of the waiting room, guys, I think it's time. But before we do, I want to give MZK a big shout out for being on the show today. If you guys should know who MZK is, but if you haven't heard MZK, just type it in YouTube, type MZK, you'll find him. Show him some love, go over there, watch his videos. Then we also have Legacy Zero, who's another content creator for No Man's Sky, who's in here as well. So just want to give those guys a big shout out. And also, if anybody else has any YouTube channels, make sure just type in the comment section saying, check out my channel. And guys, subscribe to everybody. Remember, I've said it before, We're a constellation, not just a community. So let's connect the dots. Let's all connect to each other. Let's all subscribe to each other, and just become a constellation. With that said,
I was so sad.
We're all right here for each other.
I just made a 20-minute video, and the whole entire time, I didn't even have my mic in the controller. So I was just like talking to myself for 20 minutes, and then I uploaded it, and I'm like, what the heck? And then I look at my controller, I'm like, oh my goodness, I made the best video, and it wasn't there. My audio
I've done that
gone.
before. I've done that so many times, buddy. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys, here we are. We're going to jump into the waiting room. If you guys don't hear from me again, as always, I do love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until next time, here we go.
Hey, MCK, you still there, bro?
I'm lingering.
Cool. I just want to ask, man, what's your take on multiplayer? What do you reckon? How do you think they're going to implement it?
Man, I don't know. I think it'll be like it is at the moment. It's more sort of optional than anything. It doesn't necessarily change up the game.
Everybody's still kind of learning.
Yeah. All right, we are now in the waiting room. What's going on, everybody?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
How many people we got in here? Well, we got a lot of people. Quite a few people.
Full room.
Fair number.
Yeah.
You lost them in.
The last time we had the waiting room, there was like almost 40 people in the waiting room that we went live with. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it was a mess.
So as you guys know, it's really hard for me to get everybody on the show, and that's one of the reasons why I would like to jump in the waiting room to make sure that everyone has a chance to get on the show, and we finish it out here. So if anybody that was in the subcast that want to, let's go ahead and give the waiting room a chance to talk, and we'll go from there.
Cool.
So what are you guys thinking next? What's going on? What do you have to say?
Can't wait. Super excited.
Yeah. Gotta be interesting to see how all the new
Super excited still.
worked.
I'm so hyped.
And
I heard there was some interesting talk about PvP. You guys want to go ahead and start chatting about what we were talking about?
Yeah, we were curious to see how it's going to work out.
how they're gonna implement maybe a passive mode, so you maybe don't die.
Yeah, or if you're offline, maybe you just kind of go into a passive mode where you can't be attacked if you're offline,
or at least your base or whatever else. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we were talking about an automatic passive mode so that you don't get a notification on your phone where you're like, "Hey, your shit's being stolen."
Yeah,
guess what?
Call my boss.
Better race.
I gotta go home.
There also been talk in here about maybe a new game mode like PvP. Some people talked about it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not crazy.
permadeath.
I'm not crazy about it. Yeah, I want to see it implemented in
Don't think they're gonna do it in that way. To be honest,
it would be absolutely horrible if you were in a permadeath save and somebody murked you. That just out of nowhere.
100% agree. I really think that we're going to see a new mode that's more like a persistent universe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
I hope so. Anyways.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. So like, I had this. There's like a few points I wanted to. Have you guys seen the? What's his name again? Hold on. He's one of the No Man's Sky artists. Is it Bo Lamb? Have you seen his art?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you seen like all the different variations of like the exotic, multi-tools and like ships variations and all that?
Yep.
Yeah, but so I wanted to touch on like the exploration aspect of the game.
Okay, buddy,
So,
go ahead.
like, right now, like the build that we have right now, basically, exploration is pretty much not really, could say rewarding at all. Like, it's not rewarding at all. So I'm thinking like maybe the new update they could add some sort of like thing that makes it so that exploration has some sort of like RPG elements where actually exploring like certain animals or certain discoveries are like exotic to like uncommon, common, like giving like some sort of like, you know,
like a bigger reward for a more
yeah,
rare animal.
so,
Or,
yeah, because right now when you explore something, it's just like the only reward you get from exploring is just the sake of finding something cool. That's it.
Well, I mean, not entirely. If you've got the theta scanner for fauna and flora, you do get quite a bit of money.
Yeah,
and,
you
and
do.
I mean, at least in the vanilla version of the game, when you were going around exploring on planets, you know those little broken smoking thingies. They used to give you blueprints and things like that. So I mean, you're right in saying that exploring is not necessarily as rewarding as it used to be.
Yeah, so basically,
but it also depends on how far you are in the game. Like if you're like myself and you've got every single blueprint, every single just about everything, the exploring comes down to, hey, look, I saw something pretty. And that's rewarding in its own way, but you're not wrong that there could be a little bit more progression built into it.
Yeah, but I feel like the farming and the trading aspect of the game is literally the most rewarding part of the game, because by actually doing that,
trading will be an interesting aspect of the co-op.
It sure will. Yeah.
But the exploration, I feel like hopefully the new update has some more updates about that, rather than just like getting credits for it. Or like,
well, I mean,
curious.
That's a very good point. And sorry to interrupt, guys, but if you and you kind of hit on it in that the only progression or reward that's in the game at the moment, if you're at the end game, so to speak, is acquiring more units. It would be nice if there were other goals than just that, because initially when you start the game, you know, it's, oh, I got to find these blueprints, I got to, you know, get a better ship with more slots, I got to get more slots and this and that and the other thing. But when you're a player like myself, and I'm sure like you guys who have, you know, kind of reached that end game stage where you might be looking for one particular blueprint or you know, one particular thing for your multi-tool or for your ship, there's not a whole lot driving you further. So in that sense, you know, it would be nice if they much like I hate to say this, but much like Destiny, you know, kind of increased that end game cap, you know, and pushed it a little bit further. And trust me, I'm not much of a Destiny player, and I hear both good and bad things, but at least they're constantly pushing that cap to where that end game ends, you know, pushing it a little bit further.
Where it doesn't become so mundane.
Could even use the Korvax, that since, you know, the Korvax are basically the race that's, you know, specializes in like exploration and science and all that. You could use the Korvax as like a tool that like they basically give you, you know, rewards or like missions, or like, you know, you basically upload it for the Korvax, because right now you upload information, but you don't really know like who are you, you know, basically uploading the information. I guess it's like everybody, but it's not that specific, you know. It's just like you upload it and you get units. You don't really know where the units is pretty much coming from, you know.
That's actually a good point. Where do the units come from? Who is paying us?
Who's paying?
Paying?
It's just like, you got paid. Like, I understand it's a game, but I feel like actually, you know, explaining that aspect of, you know,
with a little bit of lore as far as where the units are coming from.
Yeah, you may have just stumbled on something huge, because I mean, realistically, if you were to answer that question, that's a whole nother storyline in the background. Who the fuck is paying the travelers? Who's paying us?
Who's paying?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like the uploading, like when you actually press upload, it needs to be more than just press a button to upload. You need to actually go, let's say maybe to the space station or something to upload the information, rather than just, because basically going to your menu and just pressing upload. At a certain point, it just becomes, you don't really care really, other than just getting the units. But actually, if you actually had to go somewhere to upload your you know, the discoveries, they would mean much more, and you would actually, you know.
Don't they kind of address that when they added in the quests though?
The quests?
Whatever you're doing, it kind of.
But right now you can just press this like upload, and it uploads all the animals that you've discovered, and like Pretty much everything.
It actually doesn't upload the animals. If you go to upload all, it only uploads the planets and the systems that you've been to. If
okay.
you have to actually individually upload the flora and fauna yourself.
Oh, yeah.
But
like,
I don't name shit anymore because
yeah,
it
because
just
it
takes too long. I just want the
exactly.
units.
That's what I'm saying. Literally, when I first started the game, like I used to just name everything by actually thinking about it. I'm just like, okay, I want to name this one based on what it looks like. I want to name this, but whatever. But like as I played, you know, for a long time, I got to a point where I don't really care too much about naming every single animal or every single planet or every single.
No, it got to the point where I was naming everything Bob just for the fun of it, and then I stopped naming things altogether. But yeah, there is a planet out there where things are named Bob, Steve, Mike, Bill.
Let's start naming everything Sean.
I never didn't do that strictly in my home system, but you know, sure, if it's my home system, if it's my home planet, then yeah, sure, I'll go ahead and name everything. But if it, you know, I don't spend long enough on a given planet to bother going through the whole list, you know.
No, that's true.
But I was talking about like the structures, you know, those not the space stations. What do you call them? The ports on the planets that you go to basically trade.
Oh, just a trading post.
Trading post. Yeah, the trading post. There's like I'm looking at the art actually right now, and there's like these huge trading posts that look like they're huge buildings. Like you can see how tiny the ship is compared to the huge structure. And
actually, that'd be really interesting if at trading posts we were given a slightly different mission, like procedural mission sets.
Exactly.
So that we'd be planet specific.
Yeah,
because
there's like
that'd be really cool. And you can complete that mission anywhere. It doesn't matter. That system, the next system, Bob. You know, it's not a big deal, but it would be kind of cool if there were planet specific missions.
And also the space stations. I feel like actually making each space station in a specific star basically kind of represent the race that occupies that star system. So like rather than just having one, like there right now there are, you know, little bit of shapes for the, you know, space stations, but like the lighting inside is pretty much the same. So having different lighting maybe for different, you know, species. Or like
again, just a little bit more variation.
Decorated more towards the race that's there.
That would do a lot of, you know, like you would change the game drastically.
Here's a question: how many people want a submarine exocraft?
Me.
I want to see that, but I feel like it has to be something that like some end game content, because if you can just acquire it at the, you know what I mean. Or maybe you can acquire, but maybe you have to like, but it doesn't make sense to upgrade it so that it stays longer in the water. So once you actually acquire it, you just have to put fuel rather than.
But for instance, with a submarine, you're right in saying that you don't want to stay underwater longer, but maybe there's a thing where you can go deeper. You know, there's a crush depth.
That would be actually cool as well.
And you know, then also you'd be able to see a little bit more in terms of like the depths in oceans. Maybe, you know, a change in biomes within the oceans. You know, as you go deeper, you see less life or bigger life.
I feel like vanilla
like Subnautica.
Yeah, a little bit.
That shit gets crazy.
It does.
I feel like the vanilla version had better, like on the water, like marine life. I think it did at some point. There was like a lot of interesting.
Guys, we got a donation in Super Chat from Joe. He says, "Hey guys, I have an idea. I would like to have a photo mode, and we have a Galactic Museum where you could make posters hanging of your discoveries, like the Galactic Hub Museum." Oh, that would be super
sweet. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. It would be interesting if Hello Games set up their own kind of hub where everybody was kind of part of that, and all that stuff that you uploaded and whatever went to that.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, if you chose to upload a photo or whatever else,
that would be amazing. Just like everyone, just like looking at that one piece of art that somebody took or whatever, it would be amazing.
Also, a good thought pattern here, and I think this came from Abram. Guys, right now is the time for you guys to get units and nano. Just get them all.
Definitely.
Yeah, get your nano clusters, get everything you can get, because I guarantee you there's going to be a lot to spend it on with the new update.
yeah.
Yeah, and in my personal opinion, how you get all that stuff is probably going to change as well too.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So
exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are aware. Probably are, but Zane's World has a fantastic video on trading routes and how to set up a trading route so that you can maximize how much money you can make from it. But at the same time, he has some great tutorials on just good ways to make money and nano units, or sorry, nanite clusters and all that kind of stuff.
Plus,
just as a bit of a shout out to him.
Yeah, exactly. And a good way is to also visit some of the hubs. The hubs have the farms
visit
open.
people's farms. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you could get millions and millions and millions of dollars from these hub farms, and they're open for the public to use. And that's an amazing way. And I would say do it now. Get set up, because I guarantee you the building is not going to be easy. We're going to be able to build bigger, so therefore it's going to be harder to build bigger. So that way it doesn't. We don't do it so quickly, and then all of a sudden throw our hands up in the air and say, now what?
Yeah, it's true.
So that kind of leads me to wonder whether or not they may rebalance the value of some of the items, because they have done that in the past.
Yep. Yeah, it's true. Freighters used to be very inexpensive when the Foundation update dropped first. Like, I bought my first freighter for like 13 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now the P10 ones are something in the vicinity of like 300 million.
Yeah, right. And actually, on the note of how much stuff costs, going to other people's farms is how I bought my Class A freighter, or sorry, S-Class freighter. How I got that 300 million or 400 million is by visiting other people's farms and raiding, in one sense or another.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead, buddy.
So, what do you guys think is actually in the update? It feels like it's a player catering update. When you look on the box art, everyone wanted gas giants, so we see gas giants. Everyone wanted multiplayer, we see multiplayer. People wanted moving trees. We see that in the background of the interview. We see walking sentinels in the background. People wanted those on the planets. We see multiplayer, which is something Sean didn't even want initially with PvP. So, do you guys think this is kind of like a player catering type update?
I would say it's a combination of both, in the sense that, he does want to bring in everything that was initially promised in terms of, not necessarily PvP, but being able to play together co-op and, having all those little things that make the world that much more immersive. But at the same time, I do like the fact that that in watching his interview, very hesitant to self-hype the game. Mm-hmm. Which I kind of liked, because there was some issues in the past where it was just kind of like, like being a little bit vague. I'm okay with that, right? Because at least when things do drop, we get to experience it for ourselves without having things being quasi-promised or pseudo-promised, in a sense, because you kind of mention it and then everybody expects it, whether or not it was there or not.
Yeah, and when he was asked if he was getting closer to the final vision of the game, he kind of said yeah, but then he said that he feels like it's going to be a while before they ever get to that, to where he doesn't feel like there's anything else that's needed. But he also said that they're very happy with what they're doing right now. So,
which is exciting.
Yes, that does tell a lot. Yes.
Have you guys seen the city in the background?
No, I didn't notice
that's
that.
one of the most exciting parts.
That's crazy. Yeah. When I saw that, I'm just like, I went to YouTube and just kind of researched and see if maybe I was alone and saw that, but there's like multiple people actually saw it. There's like a city in the background. That can't just be, let's just put a city here just to make it look good. Like that can't be it. This doesn't make sense to have a city in the background.
Well, no. Here's a good question. Then is that what we would consider a procedurally generated, NPC city, or is that something that a bunch of people at Hello Games have created together?
I don't think it really matters to me, as long as there's a city. If you can create a city or you can find a city in the game, that's just insane.
I'm not sure if what we're looking at is a city, because it looks a lot like the rock formations. Thank you, Infinite Gamer, for the super chat. He says, hope you're feeling better. was hoping to come on chat, but I'm stuck at work. Hype for next. Hashtag Infinite Gamer in the chat, guys. What a cool, bro. You guys really think that's a city that you're looking at?
That has to be a city. There's no way that's a rock formation.
I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment until I see the game and it drops. I don't want to say things that aren't there necessarily. It might be.
Going to be a rock formation.
That has to be. I think the way it is structured, it's so straight and just.
But it looks like the red rocks that we see on the picture up close.
The thing is, too, if it is some sort of if it is indicative of some sort of structure, it could also just be a representation of the player colonies that we'd be building, in multiplayer as well. If we're gonna go down that road,
that's a good observation.
That's a possibility.
I can't help but wonder what the colony aspect is gonna open up as far as larger expanded community and community type role functions. I wonder if people are gonna start up communities of larger expanded government or policing forces to protect large farms, things like that near the hub. Because if there's a PvP element, then people can come in and attack large-scale farming, and then maybe someone's going to decide to hire someone. Say, hey, we'll pay you some million credits per day that you come and play police force for us.
I don't know. Then it runs the risk of kind of turning into Eve, though.
I would agree.
Why is that a bad thing?
I'm really curious.
I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but to get into Eve, you're looking at weeks and weeks of learning all the systems. Now, I mean, we do have the advantage of already been playing the game, but is that what everybody wants from No Man's Sky? Do I want to be able to set up a trading shop where I can dump off all the mined goods that I have into my base, and other players can come and purchase it from me?
I think
that might actually streamline the economy. Because then you could have actually market-specific roles. So if you want to be a farmer, you can just own a large farm and then just sell off your product to someone else who's gonna actually refine that. So that's somebody else who's gonna actually craft it.
It would be interesting, but
you don't have to do anything.
Yeah. The problem with setting up with building a system like that is the intricacy of programming something like that. One is nuts, I would imagine. Two, it does present problems in the sense that obviously you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but then it also do you allow theft? Do you allow, the ability to raid these stores and these places? How does a player protect his business when he's not online? Do you have to be part of a community? Does it mean that you can no longer be a solo player in the sense of farming and that kind of stuff?
Right.
I don't know.
You would have to have
it's a very good question.
Or if you had a PvP element to it, you could have one PvP mode, such as Cobra was saying earlier, where in that mode you have the availability of setting up turrets or something on your base. That way you can protect it when you're not around. Whereas if you're not in PvP, you wouldn't have to worry about that because it's free game anyway.
Yeah, but if you have a security system, how do you determine between friend or foe? Is there a player rating system? If you grief so many players, you just become a pirate, and then no matter what, every security system fucks you up the minute you get close to it. Excuse my language. Or because they do something similar to that in GTA, where if you just constantly grief and cheat and whatever else, you play with nothing but griefers and cheaters.
I think to a point we
might
it's
the same way in old school Watch Dogs, I think too.
I think in a way we're kind of moving sort of towards that at a very slow pace, because if you look at the way that the Galactic Hub, for example, is kind of set up with everybody that's involved with that, it's a very primitive form of that exact concept. It's just that the underlying programming would sort of be gradually introduced, through various updates and things like that. But I think the foundation for something like that is there. It just has to be executed properly.
Agreed.
My real question is that something that most No Man's Sky players want or not?
I think I'd be okay with
I feel like there's some element of that, because I'm a part of a few different communities, and I've known a few people who have attempted to start up different groups that have different functions, and I'm sure we'll see something to that effect. Maybe not to the extent of having, a police form protected farm or anything like that, but yeah, I could see somebody starting up some community like that.
Right. Yeah. Guys, we're probably going to be ending the show here. Man, we've been going on for about 2.5 hours now.
Done well, man.
Yeah, you've done very well. If you've mouth is hurting.
Yeah, it's starting. The pain medication's starting to wear off. So I'm gonna have to see if I can see if it's time to take more medication. But I really do appreciate. It's been a pleasure, and I do appreciate everybody coming on the show tonight. And it's been an amazing chat. A lot of amazing ideas. And every time I do these, it makes me even more excited for next. More excited for the update. And a lot left we still have to learn as far as what's in the update. What's the 4 players mean? Why did they go from 16 to 4? We're going to learn a lot about that, I think. I really predict that we're going to see Hello Games at E3, because if they came to the States just to do a 9-minute interview at Xbox, it's not too much to think that they would come to the States again for a bigger event on Microsoft stage. So
fair enough.
Now,
just before you take off there, Cobra, I want to ask you one question.
Sure, buddy. Go ahead.
What's the first thing that you're going to do when next drops in No Man's Sky?
Well, the other day I said, maybe get enough people, some people together to do a little rave party, or do a Lasher Pant raid. I want to get people together and just hunt these little punks. And
will that be on PS4 or PC though?
That'll be on PS4. PS4.
Nice. I like it.
All right. Awesome. We'll be live again probably tomorrow if everything goes right. And if not tomorrow, for sure, the static time to make sure you guys know when we are going to be live. The only day that is for sure for a set time is Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All other times are going to be random, just because my job is so random. But Tuesday I got on lockdown for an exact set in stone day and time. Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can always look forward to that to know exactly when we're going to be live for a subcast. But it's been a pleasure, guys, and I hope everyone's out there stays safe, stay excited. And I guess I'll see you guys next time.
Right on. Well, listen, you take care of that voice and that mouth, my friend, and have a good day.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. All right, everybody. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. And everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming out to Cobra TV. We will do this again, hopefully tomorrow, if the Atlas allows us. And I will see everybody hopefully tomorrow, definitely Tuesday. All right, bye, everybody.
Peace. Peace. I got in to say goodbye.
Bye.